Hey, so thanks to all the viewers on my TikTok channel since July and the many who recommended that I should set up a Substack channel, which I've finally done. So it's delphineryan.substack.com. You can go straight on the link tree and subscribe through the link there, or just go to Substack. And the reason that was recommended, thank you, because I've never heard about Substack, it was the fact that some of my TikTok videos were being taken down, particularly the one that relate to the historical explanation of the rise of psychiatry, modern psychology, and how these industries have really gone to town in destroying our civilization, in destroying education, in dumbing down the population. But really is who's behind all that as well, or the people, the various people through history behind all that. It's all fine talking about Rockefeller, who funded a lot of it, and he did, but there were many other people before him involved in the development of eugenics and the whole concept of mental illness, all on the same line, obviously, of, you know, keeping the aristocracy in its comfortable position, and the rest of the masses, the riffraff like you and me, obviously under some sort of control. So the whole subject is really interesting. However, in the present moment, right now, the situation is much more critical because there are millions and millions upon millions of individuals around the world, including children, who are hooked on psychiatric drugs. There is a big boom in diagnostic and statistical manual of mental disorders. The first publication published in 1952, shortly after the institution of the World Health Organization. Now, if you watch many of my posts, I discuss that book quite often. This is the latest edition, but this has gone bonkers, basically. You know, now you see advertisement for people to go and get diagnosed with ADHD, another fabricated illness. And then you have your learning disorders, where children are not being taught properly at school, and then they're being labeled with learning disorders and drugged. I mean, it just goes on and on and on, and it's just gone out of control, completely out of control. So we have to do something about that, and my channel is about that, as well as understanding what's happening, but what you can do about it. But the TikTok algorithms and other social media algorithms don't seem to like this stuff so much. So on Substack, I will publish more in detail, certain details that perhaps I would not be able to put on TikTok, particularly on the subject of eugenics, which I really want to just delve into in 2026. And I'll give you examples here of many individuals who were actually very much responsible for the beginning of this whole development of eugenics. And these include Thomas Malthus, and some of you may know those titles, 1700, an essay on the principle of population. Then you have obviously Darwin, The Origin of Species. You know, this guy was not the decent guy that you think he was, and I've got some interesting quotes and references on that. We have Comte de Gobineau, who wrote an essay on the inequality of human races, and some of the text in there in the chapters are actually so disturbing to read. Actually, I don't think I would be able to read it on TikTok, because something would definitely happen to my channel. But that's why I've got the Substack now, is the likelihood there will come a time where some of my posts will be taken down again, I imagine, even though everything is documented and it's a reference, so you can go and look for yourself. So I'm just going to balance it, thanks to the recommendation to have it on Substack as well as here. I'm not going to put the TikTok posts on Substack as such, but I'm going to put the written works, and also recommended were podcasts. So I thought between videos and video post on TikTok and written and podcast on Substack, I think that should cover all areas, should cover all bases. Because frankly, some of those topics like the eugenics or the decline of Western education, I have already written kind of long articles on the decline of education, and they can't be discussed in a space of like 4 or 5 minutes on TikTok. So perhaps these topics are better suited for a long podcast, you know, like an hour and a half, to actually go over the whole timeline. And then on TikTok, we have just smaller chunks with references that you can go and have a look at. And obviously, I love to share all my old textbooks and old dictionaries, because this is a vital piece of the puzzle to realize and understand what happened to textbooks and knowledge in the last 150 years. from, you know, very, very highbrow, high level maths, science textbooks, dictionaries, which was the norm, to what we have now in 2025 with, you know, so many young people, quite frankly, unable to read and write by the time they come out of school. Well, anyway, in the UK, that's for sure. The US, I know, is very similar. So here we go. So if you want to keep abreast in case this channel gets cancelled, or, you know, TikTok kind of whatever bans it, do go onto my link on Linktree for Substack, and then subscribe. So at least you'll keep informed should anything happen. And if nothing happens, then that's a bonus, isn't it?